What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. This is a frequently asked question, so I'm going to cover it. It's about sea freight versus air freight.
1, 3, 8.
One way you can obviously make more money for your business is you can increase your margins. Your margins is basically what you're making off each item. So it's your what you're selling it for, your prices, minus your cost of goods, what you're paying for it, obviously. So there's two ways you can increase your margins, obviously. You can increase your prices, which obviously is at detriment to the consumer, or you can decrease your cost of goods. And obviously with every business and whatever you're selling, you want to try and decrease your cost of goods. That's just, I didn't go to uni or anything, but that's just business 101. It's common sense. So one way you can do that is by ordering more items, more quantities. So it's called economy of scale, where you're basically, say I order 100 hoodies, I pay $30 per hoodie. I order 1,000 hoodies, I might pay $20 per hoodie. That's just how factories work in China. So that's one way you can decrease your cost of goods. Other, I guess, things that are involved in your cost of goods is shipping. And my eyes were opened to sea freight as opposed to air freight over this COVID period. It's something that I've learned. So basically, air freight skyrocketed during COVID. The reason it being is that there were less flights from here to China and vice versa. So there was less space on those flights to put your stuff on, which means there was a decrease in supply and an increase in demand. So everyone wanted to ship their stuff here at the same time, but there was only few flights to do it. So as every business did, they all bumped up their shipping rates a lot, and it was almost ridiculous. So but a lot of people have no, or you think you have no option but to do it. So I actually found another way. So it's called sea freight, and it's very common, but I never realized how much of a difference it could make. So first of all, in a lot of sea freight, you have to have a minimum. It's not always. I've heard of people that have messaged me and asked me about it and said that their factories will ship via sea freight for smaller quantities. That might be the case. I'm not sure for other people, but in my case and in my factory, I had to have a minimum order. So sitting around the 18 to 20 box mark would be the minimum. Our standard boxes, I can't remember the measurements, but you would need at least that to put it on a sea freight. And again, might be different for other people. So to put it in perspective, I got quoted for these tracksuits, and the tracksuits would be here right now, but this is why I made the decision to put them on a boat. So I was quoted $7,000 New Zealand to ship them via a plane, right? Then I just went and decided, you know what, I'll get a sea freight quote because my auntie, she owns a designer store, designer brand. She ships stuff from China and she puts it on boats all the time. Or she started to put it back on boats all the time, so I followed her. I asked what the quote was, and $700. So literally a tenth of what it was going to cost me to air freight it. The difference being it takes about 5 to 7 days on a plane to get here and landed to you. In a boat, it takes you 3 to 4 weeks. Now, the way you can get through this, so obviously when you're at the start, you have to have your clothes straight away. So I don't have time to be waiting for clothes, right? I'm sort of, I guess, in that situation right now. I can't really afford to be waiting for it, but I had to make a smart business decision for myself. We're literally talking $6,300 to wait an extra 2 to 3 weeks. And for me, that would have been stupid if I had to put it on a plane. And now I'm explaining to you why. So they're due to land on the 2nd of October, and they'll be dispatched to me by the 5th of October. How I made this happen. So first of all, there's a thing, I can't remember what it stands for, but EXW versus FOB. FOB stands for freight on board. And basically, when you're ordering stuff from China, you get your order is either EXW or FOB. Usually, the factory will base it off the quantities you're ordering or the amount you've ordered. If you're ordering a lot, they'll FOB it. If you haven't ordered a lot, they'll probably EXW it. Again, this could be different for other people, but this is the case for me. Now you understand. Now I'm going to explain to you what FOB. So FOB is you basically are paying for the factory that you're buying it from to get it to the whatever you call it, the port or wherever it's going to. So they get it to there and it's ready to be shipped, and then basically you just get in contact with a logistics company in New Zealand. I use 360 Logistics in Auckland. I give them my I give them my ship number, what ship it's going to be on, and they organise the rest. So if it's to be EXW, there's a lot of hidden costs in that. You have to pay for it to be picked up from the factory. You have to get it to the port, and you have to go through all the paperwork, and it's a long process. The first time I got EXW, it caught me by surprise, and I didn't know how much paperwork and stuff was involved, and it was very draining, and it almost felt like it wasn't worth the money. Like I almost felt like I wanted to just pay extra to get it here quicker and not have to think about that stuff. So what you need to be wary of is the time frames. I guess how I've gotten over it now is where obviously for you to put it on a boat and to wait however long, you need to be ahead of your game. And what I mean by ahead of the game is, say my summer stuff, I'm getting my samples made now, hopefully be here in the next 2 weeks. Once that's done, I'll make my order. That'll be done before the end of next month. I'll put them on a boat. They'll be here before December. December's summer, and I want them to be ready before then. So by doing it now, I've put myself in a position to be able to wait for the next shipment. So say I had to wait to sell 3/4 of my tracksuits before I could buy my summer collection. Sell 3/4 of my tracksuits in mid-November, make my big collection. It's finished at the start of December, and then I have to wait 3 to 4 weeks to put it on a boat. Gets here in January. It's too late. I don't have time to do that. So you have to get yourself in a good enough position to have enough equity on the side to be able to put yourself ahead of the game and be able to make clothes for your next season. So during summer, I'll be planning my winter collection, things like that. Sweet, going to wrap it up there. That's us. 3 things to focus on there. It's a far cheaper option. Make sure you do your homework on it. Put it on a boat as opposed to a plane when you're in the position to. Trust me, it's going to be worthwhile in the long run. FOB, make sure it's FOB and not EXW. You'll get stung with hidden costs, and it's a lot of admin. Trust me, I've been through it. And time frames. Make sure you're ahead of the game. Make sure you know you've got enough equity to be able to be planning ahead and to be making your summer collection with enough time that you can afford to wait 3 to 4 weeks for your clothes to get here or whatever you're selling. Last thing, the tracksuits are available for pre-order now. We've got the black tracksuit and the white tracksuit. We've already had a few sales, so I'd get in fast. Jump online, www.138.co.nz, cop the set for $180. That'll be automated at the checkout. Sweet, that's us. Later.